Main Street Amusements is Indiana's largest pinball arcade. Located on Main Street in downtown Lafayette, there are over 35 pinball and arcade games to try. Main Street Amusements opened up 3 years ago when the owner, Dan St. John, purchased the building to remodel the room upstairs. Collecting pinball machines is a hobby for him, buying his first pinball machine 30 years ago, with the hobby escalating in the last 10 years. With all the empty space downstairs, he decided to turn it into an arcade. Open 6 nights a week, the arcade attracts a variety of people.
We get a pretty interesting mix. We get some Purdue kids over here, we get a lot of locals. We actually get a lot of people from out of state, believe it or not, that make the trip up here just to play pinball. So it's probably mostly Lafayette locals, so predominantly probably 30 to 40-year-olds.
If you ever feel like playing pinball competitively, throughout the year Main Street Amusements is a venue for a variety of pinball tournaments. These tournaments range from a tournament called Pin Golf to simpler elimination-style tournaments.
One of our customers puts on a tournament every year. It's called a Pin Golf tournament, and it's kind of a golf sort of format where you have a certain number of your number of balls to reach a certain score is your score on that game. So you kind of have a par to shoot for like that. There's different, more typically be like a double elimination sort of tournament where you just play head-to-head with other players over 2 to 3 games.
If you want to try and win one of these tournaments, pinball is a game of skill rather than luck, especially on the newer machines. Dan describes the older games to be a little more random. Avid pinball players who know what they are doing will line up their shots and know which ones score the big points. If you want to get better at pinball, practice is the key.
Practice can get you the basics. If you're really crazy about pinball, there's a lot you can learn online. There's actually tutorials for the different games so that some of these crazy people that are really good at it will show you the tips.
Main Street Amusements is also home to several old-school arcade games such as Space Invaders, Galaga, and Donkey Kong Jr. Dan's favourite game, however, is a complex pinball machine called Twilight Zone.
It's a really complex game. It's kind of from that golden era of pinball machines in the mid-90s when there's just a lot going on in that machine, a lot of different shots, really complex game. It's one you really have to learn something about. You can't it's not one that you can just walk up and start playing and understand it like you can most games. This is one you have to do a little homework on.
The arcade is open from 7 to 11 p.m. on Monday to Friday nights and 5 to 11 p.m. on Saturday nights. Therefore, if you find yourself down Main Street on one of these nights, head inside Main Street Amusements and give one of the many pinball or arcade games a try. Reporting for Fast Track, I'm Scott Jeffree.